Hey y'all, it's your girl Danielle Ty tuning in with y'all today on a very controversial topic, but it's something that I have been really going through mentally for the past year tough, but I've thought about it, my whole life. And it's about being child free. My decision on choosing to not have children biologically, and I'm 30 years old. And today we're going to talk about why. Okay. So I think the best way to start is just by saying that growing up as a child, I did not think oh my God, I really cannot wait to become a mother when I get older. I didn't think about oh, when I have kids, I'm gonna name them this, that, and the other. When I tell you, my cousin Chubb always knew the name of her kids. She always knew she wanted a boy, a girl, da da da. I've never thought about that. I never cared that much. It was just I've always had the saying in my saying if I have kids. I've always said that. As I've turned 30 this year, it's become more real for me because it is to the point where it's my mom and other people in the family is what is Danielle doing? Is Danielle gonna have kids? When is she gonna have her own? She gonna be a great mom? All of this stuff. And it's I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but if things go accordingly, you know what I'm saying? If God don't have a little funny joke, your girl is planning on being child free, period. And we just gonna leave it there. Okay. So when I knew I didn't want to have kids, me and my partner Jessica was sitting there talking about how we didn't want to have kids, and we was okay. She basically said, she was I've been sitting here thinking do I really want to have kids? And I really would want to have kids because I wonder what they look like. So she was so I looked at an article and it was 15 reasons why you shouldn't have kids. And the number one reason was don't have kids if you want to have them to see what they look like. So she was maybe I shouldn't have a kid. And I was thinking honestly, okay, one of my biggest concerns of not having a child is, okay, who's going to take care of me when I get older? And if you ask me, that's super selfish to have a child to either see what they look like or, who's going to take care of me when I get older. Honestly, I knew then that I didn't want to have kids because I had to ask myself, okay, why would I want kids? And I couldn't really answer it. And I felt if it genuinely wasn't coming from the point where I could say, I want to bring somebody into this world and take care of them and love them and raise a mini me and teach them things, I don't have that desire. That's when I knew that that's not for me. And that would be unfair for me to put me and that babysit and the baby daddy in a situation that we all don't want to be in, because I'm the primary factor in that, and if I'm not happy, then I can make a miserable life for both of them. So I just rather not even bring a child in the equation. And not to mention 2020 is already scary, so even me not if I wanted to have a baby before 2020 would have definitely woke my game up, and I would have been bruh, because now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love children. From the time my little brother was born, I was always oh, I want to feed them, I want to bathe them, I love them. I love babies. I love kids. Don't get me wrong. But the real game changer was when I went to the Bay after my nephew turned 1 and I just turned 30. And my brother and my sister-in-law, I was I'll watch the kids. No problem. I want to spend that bonding time with my nephew. When I tell you, it started off like this. Stop, nephew. Stop playing. Come back here. Come here. Don't touch that.
2 hours later.
Nephew, bruh, please stop. What's up? You don't want to sit down? Please, bruh. Damn near begging him to just sit down. And I was just thinking oh my God, bruh, if this is what a little bit of parenting consists of, if this is already this hard, I could not imagine, because I watched them for 4 hours and I was so excited to give them back. I love them. You're so cute, cuddly, everything. But here you go, mommy and daddy. Do y'all thing. And I was out in the streets because I was bruh, I had to really think. I was oh my God, I could not imagine what life would be if for 20 hours out the day I had to deal with it. And then that 4 hours I got a break. I'll be It might sound selfish and all of that, but at the end of the day, just because we are able to reproduce does not mean that everybody should reproduce. And I'm honestly making a conscious decision to not bring a child in this world if I feel like that I'm not ready for it. And a lot of other women should do that because not everybody's meant to be a parent. So let me just say all that to say that 2020, I think we should normalize women consciously making a decision to be child free. And that does not mean that she's selfish and that she hates kids, but it just means that, we are not living back in old times where a woman's whole purpose in life is to reproduce and clean a house like we are in 2020, people. Your girl is already a little bit of a rebel if you haven't noticed. I like to go against the grain, and that's what I'm deciding to do as far as not having kids, you know what I'm saying. And the last thing I want to just say is that I know not everybody would agree with me, but let me also just say that I think that also being a part of a group of friends, like we all don't talk like that no more, but from all my friends, like it was a group of 6 of us from high school, not one of us have kids yet, and we all hitting 30. So I think if I grew up too around other girlfriends who was having babies and stuff, it would be like, ooh, let's have babies to raise our kids together and all of that. But like we all completely went over that phase, and it's to the point now where it's just like, I'm like, damn, if I had a kid now, it would be like, shit, who gonna have play dates with? I'm gonna have to join the mommy group. And it would be way harder for me right now too, let me just say, with me living in North Carolina, because I would feel so much guilt having a baby and having my baby all away from my family. Like I wouldn't even be able to move the way I want to move without feeling guilty. So it's just a lot of factors that don't work for me personally having a baby. Either way, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure that y'all comment. Tell me what y'all think about it. Like, if you feel the need to do so, subscribe on this thing. I love you guys. Stay tuned for next Thursday. Peace.